Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 85 of Rapid Fate Online, and this one's titled It Begins. Tamajiki pretended to hesitate a little, then looked back at you and you nodded to him. That's okay, he replied. Well, good luck. Head on out there and ask the guy at the front desk about it, he said with a smile. You and Tamajiki thanked him, then left the shop, heading down those nostalgic cobblestone streets to the gates that led out onto the wide fields of level 1. This all seems quite easy so far, you mused to Tamajiki as you walked. He hummed. I'm not getting too comfortable though. You nodded and walked on silently with him till you came to the gates and looked around the corner. Outside the walls was one lone inn that seemed to be a part of the wall, and you both headed towards it. The bell on the door tinkled invitingly as you entered, and the man at the reception desk looked up. Looking for a place to stay? He queried. We've been directed here for help with levelling up, Tamajiki said. The guy nodded and just pointed through a door that led to the ground level bar and dining. Just wait in there a sec, he said. You thought nothing of it, but Tamajiki picked up on the guy's slight shift in energy, and he lowered his head, glancing around from the corners of his eyes to see if anyone else was nearby. Slowly Tamajiki turned and walked into the room, placing an arm back behind himself to feel for where you were, and it was only then that you felt like something was afoot. The room was empty, and Tamajiki looked back at you. Stay close, he said lowly, and you obeyed, feeling very vulnerable at that point. Sitting at one of the tables there, you looked Tamajiki in the eye and tried to read telepathically what was going on, but naturally you couldn't read a thing from his face and so looked around instead. You and your man waited for about 5 minutes before 2 men walked in. One stayed at the door and the other approached you and Tamajiki. Well, hello there, the guy greeted with a wide fake smile. And what brings you here today? We heard about an easy way to level up, Tamajiki said to the guy, watching him cautiously. Ah, and where did you hear about this easy way to level up? The guy asked. Tamajiki sat silently for a second, and you looked from him to the guy, then back to him again. Online, he finally replied. Is that so? The guy said, sitting back and rubbing his chin. The chin rub must have been a signal, because the guy at the door reached behind himself and pulled out a steel bat, then started walking slowly up behind you and Tamajiki. You were none the wiser, but your perceptive man had a feeling that the guy at the door had moved and knew what was about to happen. They're testing us. Because I said online they think that we could be spies or something, trying to get information to bring the operation undone, Tamajiki thought. This guy is going to come up behind us and attack us to see if we react. If I do fight him off, he will know that I'm a higher level player with some in-game experience using a low level account, and thus not someone who is needing to level up quickly, and will be found out. He felt with all of his being to try and work out how far away the guy with the bat was, while he kept looking at the man in front of him. I can't let them hit Yin though. Suddenly he stood up. If you can't help us, we'll be on our way, he said quickly, his sudden movement attracting the attention of the guy with the bat, who had been about to whack you with it, but instead he turned his weapon on Tamajiki and smacked him across the back. Your man doubled over forwards and fell across the table, coughing and spluttering, and you jumped up in surprise, shocked at what had just happened. Tama! You yelled with horror, then whipped around to face the guy with the bat, anger blazing in your eyes. Why the hell did you do that? You screamed at him, jumping the bench seat to take a wild swing at the guy. It's okay, Tamajiki wheezed, reaching out and quickly grabbing your arm to stop you. I'm okay. We'll leave, he wheezed, straightening up. They don't want us here. Hey now, the first guy said calmly, standing up and putting a hand out to signal to the guy with the bat to step down. Excuse my friend here. Why the hell did your friend attack my boyfriend like that? You snapped, fists balled up in anger. Why would you just hit someone like that? We've come here for help and we get attacked? Oh, my apologies, the guy said with another fake smile. It seems I have offended. Of course you've offended. You just attacked an innocent man. What the hell did we do to you? Okay, miss, calm down, the guy with the bat said tersely before turning and walking back to the door. You were still beyond pissed, ready to leave immediately, but Tamajiki didn't seem to be too fazed, and had already sat back down. So you joined him, angrily, with your arms crossed across your chest, annoyed pout on your face as you waited for the guy to continue. I can get you levelled up quickly, the guy then said, and you scowled at him. What if we don't want your help anymore? You growled. We need it though, Tamajiki whispered to you, loud enough for the guy to hear. We'll be way behind if we don't get help. You sighed and nodded, immediately catching on to his story. Okay, you resigned. The guy grinned. Well, let's get to it then, he said, standing up. Follow me. What, to a closed room for you to murder us in? You snorted sarcastically. She has bite, this one, the guy commented to the quiet Tamajiki. Your man hummed with a smile, taking your hand and squeezing it to calm you down a bit. You and your man were led out back into the foyer, then outside to where a horse and cart were waiting. Get in here. It will take you to the next stage, the man said, smacking the wooden boards on the side of the wagon. You eyed it suspiciously, but Tamajiki got in, so you followed and sat down as the wagon started to roll out, scowling back at the guy as he waved you off and then turned back to the building. What the hell was all that about? You hissed at Tamajiki. And there ends chapter 85. Stay tuned for chapter 86.